it's a passion project of mine, and it's been a great journey, and I love hearing the stories that have come out of the event, and I think it's really interesting bringing in wonderful people together, and being a family office myself as well, and understanding what's important to families and incorporating that within the conference agenda as well. I think that really creates a really unique environment at the conference, and a lovely ambiance, very friendly. It's great to have the support of His Highness Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum as well, and the CEO to his private office as well, Muhammad Al Ali. And it's maybe reflective of perhaps what the families are looking to achieve, and coming across interesting investment opportunities that may not necessarily be able to come across otherwise. And a lot of the those types of investment opportunities that come to the conference have come from 1 or 2 degrees of separation from the different participants at the event. So
all the Gulf in particular, the 6 GCC countries, which is Saudi, Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Oman, we are all very close. We meet each other, we work with each other. And you'll find these families, most of them share the same businesses. Most of the businesses in the world, and especially in the Gulf, 80% to maybe I say 90% of it is a family business. When you go and share your wealth with helping the needy people, bringing them to life, because our Prophet Muhammad, he said, you have to take care of your 7 neighbors on your left and 7 neighbors on your right. Another advice from my father, he said, money can buy anything for you tangible, which you can touch with hand, material. Okay, a car, a phone, a cameras, clothes, food, furniture, X, Y, Z, anything you touch with hand, you can buy it with your money. But you cannot buy credibility, honesty, dignity, love, care, loyalty.
It's a family-owned group based in Jeddah, and they're most known for having the IKEA franchise in Saudi since 1983. In fact, it's Saudi and Bahrain. We opened our Bahrain store last year in September. So our operating businesses are retail, where we have the franchise of IKEA and also the franchise of Marina. We also have a big logistics business that caters to IKEA as well as other players in the market. Then we have other financial investments. We are very entrepreneurial in nature, so we've invested a lot in growing companies in Saudi, and now we're looking more abroad to strengthen our financial portfolio.
The private office of Sheikh Saeed bin Ahmed Al Maktoum is not a traditional family office, to be honest. It's not an office that, wants to diversify the wealth of the sheikh or the royal family member, a couple of $1 billion, let's put a few of them over here, a few of them over there, deploy it over here or there. We tended to look at things differently. And that's because of a past experience that we've had with multinational companies, or startups basically, that we wanted to invest in, and we did actually invest in. And we've seen throughout the years that the companies we've invested in who came to the UAE and operated their businesses basically, a lot of them were not successful. And to be honest, back in the days, the success rate of startups was 8 out of 10 would fail and 2 out of 10 would basically survive. And when we looked at the common denominator to why all of them are not succeeding basically, the main reason behind that was that, yes, they had the money, but they didn't know how to do it, what to do with it basically. They didn't know how to expand in the market. They lacked the vision or the cultural aspect of doing business. And that was a key point for us to highlight. We wanted to look at it from a different perspective. And when we thought about it, to be honest, we came to the conclusion that startups don't need our money. They need our support. They need our knowledge in the market. They need our cultural background in the market. They need our network and contacts and everyone that we know over here to support them.
The firm's vision is about building sustainable, industry-defining companies, and we focus on healthcare and education in India and the GCC. So the firm's very focused, but it's a young and ambitious firm. And what people talk about us is we're vibrant, we're dynamic, we're doing fantastic. And it's also the environment we live in today where it's volatile. It's tough to have a conversation without somebody looking at their phone. So the fact that the firm is a fresh breath of air is a fantastic feeling for us.
My focus is on mainly ultra net worth individuals and single family offices. Within BNY Mellon Wealth Management, we cater for a slightly larger type of private clients audience than the typical private banking business. What we do for them is we make them available our institutional capabilities within the investment space, investment management and investment services, while providing that hands-on approach that is needed when you're dealing with a private client. In my case specifically, I focus on either building an infrastructure for the financial assets of a family office, or if the infrastructure already exists, help those family offices through investment opportunities to achieve their goals and objectives.
We are into providing shelters, housing, which is the current biggest crisis that world is facing. Totally, there are about 80 billion homes that needs to be developed in this world. As per United Nations survey, by next to 2100, the population will increase to 11.2 billion. And there is a massive requirement of home. And we have started this in the year 2010 to develop affordable homes to serve the people who deserve it, who are underprivileged and who have not been served in this current speculative and expensive market.
So the new project that I have is called Sisters First Fund, and what it is, it's an entertainment fund. And this entertainment fund is for women, by women. So there's three parts to it. There's film, television, and theater. So what I've done is I've reached out to the most powerful women that I know in all three fields. And so, for example, in Broadway, we have two very strong women that right now are joining the fund. They have 17 Tonys amongst them and one Olivier, which is fantastic. But what this does is that the fund will allow them to grant them money for new projects, new content, new plays.
Our firm is very results orientated, so we focus on productivity, getting things done. There's no FaceTime. All the families I work with two families, one I'm CIO of and one I'm chairman of, and both of them like to have a positive impact on the world. They all like to do things that are good for society. They view the reason why you make money is so that you can help people and do good for the world. So even when we look at investments, it's partly through that lens as well, whereby we want to make, we wouldn't invest in tobacco, we wouldn't invest in alcohol, we wouldn't invest in things that could have a negative impact on society in general. So we try to look at things, and there's enough asset classes and enough investments that you can look at that you don't have to worry that you're hurting anyone. So that's kind of the framework through which you look at things, and then obviously we're trying to build wealth for the next generation and have outperformance and have alpha and have returns and have diversification and all those things that everyone else is trying to do too.
I work for Kent Swig, which is the Swig family. That's the Fairmont Hotel chain heirs, third generation. Kent also owns Hemsley Spear, which he bought from the Harry Hemsley estate. And what else might they know? He's partners with the Zeckendorfs, and they own Brown Harris Stevens and Halstead, which are two large brokerage houses. A lot of real estate. He is very active in Israel discount bonds and in Israel philanthropy. He lives in New York. The main bulk of the cousins are in San Francisco, so most people know the San Francisco Swigs. Their family owns a Grace building in New York City, along with a lot of other real estate throughout the United States.
Well, CPG Research and Advisory is an asset consulting firm. We've been around for 28 years. We're a boutique asset consulting firm, and we service institutional clients. We're the largest asset consulting firm to local government councils in Australia. We also advise on a major multifamily office. One of our directors has been appointed by the World Bank for the Sri Lankan Employee Provident Fund as well at the same time. So we do it on various levels of government. Shall I say the CEO has been appointed by the World Bank, and we're very different. I think what we focus on is alpha generation. We look at a variety of asset classes. We've had a very successful track record in what we do.
I launched a very ambitious name and project called the International Blockchain Monetary Reserve, which I envision to one day be the kind of independent IMF of crypto or digital currencies worldwide. And our first market is Southeast Asia, and we're targeting the failing emerging markets there. And it's really a financial inclusion what we're looking at. And so what I hope to do over the next, over the next 40 years, we have a 40-year monetary plan, is to launch the largest micro-asset network in Southeast Asia, essentially allowing the urban working poor in Southeast Asia to be able to be part of a decentralized information network to report on government corruption, infrastructure that's lacking, problems in the community, because those people who are living day to day, they don't have any political or legal voice. It's more than being unbanked. It's more a matter of not having almost any rights at all.
I think our mantra is to invest with integrity. So we like to look at high quality companies. We invest with what we think are some of the best investors globally. Because we co-invest, we don't always go into an investment on our own. We like to think we're building a reputation for high quality transaction management. So a deal may take us 3, 4, 5 months to complete. And inside of that, there's a lot of complex legal work. We look at intellectual property, we do background checks on management, and we also get very deep into the technology and the science of the company that we're investing in. And we try and do that in as high a quality way as possible. And as a result, we think we do high quality deals, the best deals we can find. And if people co-invest with us, we like to think that they respect us for doing that piece of work. So we often lead the deal, and we bring other investors into that transaction.
At Chain Fund Capital, we like to stay agile. So that means we're very nimble and we're able to adapt to a changing global economy. So we always like to stay at the cutting edge, and we're really backing the entrepreneurs that can build recession-proof businesses. We try to stay available 24/7 for our LPs, covering both Asia, the US, and the Middle East. And for our LPs, we're on instant message with them.
This company, Funware, the name actually means applications that exhibit game-like mechanics and behavior. So we set it up because we realized that it was going to be exciting to do mobile. We thought there were 5 billion feature phones, they would all go away. So we had the small ambition to say, what if we could reach every human being on the planet that had a device touching a network through their favorite applications on mobile. We recently went public on NASDAQ. So we raised about $100 million privately, went from 0 to several hundred people. And now we, much like you would think about Amazon AWS or Google Cloud as a platform, what we do is provide infrastructure, software, and data to the Fortune 1000 customer sets on all their mobile initiatives.
We're an emerging technology accelerator, so we focus on what we refer to as the intelligence revolution, where we're looking at robotics, quantum computing, AI, blockchain, sensors, and more, and how they're going to dictate the next 2 decades of everything we do.
So we've been pioneers in this area of impact investing, but doing it with a profit-first approach. And our realization after more than 5 years of doing this work in India is that you can pick the right companies, the right entrepreneurs that are serving the needs of a underprivileged or underserved population, and they can make good money, but at the same time they truly are helping those consumers, largely helping them make a better life and improve their jobs, improve their education, improve their health, and therefore you make good money at the same time. In India, we've actually touched the lives of more than 2.5 million people in under 5 years with this work. Globally, we expect to touch the lives of more than 8 million people with our funds all around the world over the next few years.
So today, I work as an advisor to them, being located between the East and West, and I guess being a balance between East and West, where I am obviously from the Middle East, but I've worked and lived in the UK for most of my life. And today I help them with next-gen advice, particularly women who are in the Middle East as well, who come from very prominent and wealthy families, who are transitioning from education and how to allocate the family's wealth next. So I guess I just sort of give them advice and some guidance on where to go, on which areas are of interest or what the current trends are and where families are investing and where we would co-invest alongside them.
My ancestors come from Saudi Arabia, and our family, Ansari family, is the oldest family in history. It's 1400 years old. From Medina, we were the first supporters of Islam and Prophet, peace be upon him, we are also mentioned in Quran. My vision for the company was I want to work with very niche class and very elites and VVIPs and governments and of course private family offices.
So as a global platform, we have to be able to transparently service any technology anywhere in the world. And the UAE is a very strong region in terms of the political stability, the infrastructure, and the availability of technology and talent for us to be able to service the Mideast region.